because you have to speak on behalf. Not everybody has that microphone in front of their face. And I think as women in sports, we can represent so many different groups, right? Yeah, so it goes both ways. It goes both ways. I think at times because we're athletes, because we're asked questions, we have microphones in front of our face, we're on national television, it's a responsibility you kind of have to take.
She was asked, how did you stand up for women everywhere? What is that like to have to answer those questions and know that answering them is also important, though, right?
Did you know that while Angel Reese was busy with photo shoots, Caitlin Clark's team made it to the playoffs? That's not just coincidence, folks. Sue Bird's dropping truth bombs about why one rookie's shining and the other's struggling. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video.
So I'm all for it. I think it's great. They've come in and they've taken over.
I know you've had to answer a lot of questions about this moment in women's sports.
The looks, it wasn't getting, people weren't covering it. So the fact that these two, they literally stole the college stage, both with their play and their trash talk, and then they're taking it into the WNBA. It's just going to mean good things for the rest of the landscape of women's basketball. To your point, there have been these pivotal moments, and I think what we've seen is a peak, and then sadly some sort of drop off after. We didn't have enough infrastructure.
But here's what's really crazy. Bird's not holding back. She's calling out Reese for her Instagram addiction, and the reasons why will shock you. Ready to see how social media fame stacks up against real basketball skills? Let's break it down. You won't believe what's going down in the world of women's basketball. It's like we're watching two completely different games here.
Take it away. What's up? What's on your mind?
Well, Angel Reese, she's scheduled to play in the new 3-on-3 league that's coming up. The unrivaled basketball season is starting this month, but she came under some scrutiny.
You had some stuff on your mind involving Angel Reese and what have you. So usually I'm the one that introduces a subject, but I'm going to turn around and give the floor to you since you're hanging out in my studio and all. I'm going to give the floor to you, Tori.
Around New Year's Eve, because she shared a post on her Instagram. She's had a stellar season. This is the video that is actually still on her TikTok. And she got some pretty serious pushback after sharing this.
On one side, we've got Angel Reese, the Instagram queen herself, and on the other, we've got Caitlin Clark, the gym rat extraordinaire. Let's break it down, because this is wild. So, picture this. Angel Reese shows up to an event in this animal print gown that's got everyone talking. I mean, it's got a slit so high, you'd think she was walking the red carpet at the Oscars, not representing a professional basketball team. And let me tell you, the fans were not having it. They went in so hard on her that she had to wipe her whole Instagram clean. Can you imagine? 1 minute you're posting fire selfies. The next, you're hitting that delete button faster than a fast break. But here's where it gets really crazy. While Reese is dealing with all this drama, Caitlin Clark is out there living her best life in the gym. We're talking workouts that would make even the toughest pros cry for their mamas.
Let's face reality. She's going to be attached to Caitlin Clark to some degree. If Angel Reese had never waved her hand in her face when the salary that you were going to make as a WNBA player, I'm all for that. But here's what I have a problem with, Tori. Angel Reese, in doing the things that she has done, LSU was beating Iowa for in the Final Four of the national championship. If that hadn't happened, Angel Reese's name might not be as big. Yes, she's a talent. Yes, she would have made the WNBA. Caitlin Clark, the reason I bring up Caitlin Clark is because they're attached at the hip with one another, which means they're ultimately going to be compared, Tori. And when you look at Caitlin Clark is balling. But in terms of her popularity, it really soared after she took down Caitlin Clark. And then Caitlin Clark came back last year and got revenge by knocking LSU out in the Elite Eight, if I remember correctly.
This girl is not playing around. She's in there every day working on her game like it's her job. Oh wait, it is. You know what's even wilder? Clark's not just maintaining her skills. She's in there like a mad scientist in a basketball lab, cooking up new moves. She's working on this mid-range floater that's gonna have defenders scratching their heads. And get this, she's even improving her left-hand game. That's the kind of dedication that separates the good from the great. But wait, it gets better. While Reese is busy picking filters for her next post, Clark is out there making her team's playoff dreams come true. That's right, while one's dealing with social media backlash, the other's celebrating with her teammates. Talk about a contrast in priorities. And let me tell you, Clark's not just going through the motions. She's doing these intense drills that focus on handling pressure and finishing through contact.
We didn't have enough understanding of how to keep the moment going. And I do think that's what's different about what's happening now. I think we're learning from whether you talk about the 99ers with soccer. You know, for me, obviously, as a basketball player, it's that 96 women's team in Atlanta that started the WNBA.
Yeah.
And again, it's kind of had some peaks and some valleys. And now, because of those learning curves, I guess, we understand that we have to keep pushing.
I think when you talk about the average salary, it was like approximately $124,000, if I remember correctly. Well, guess what? The average salary in the NBA is over $10 million. And we lamented the fact that she had to go overseas. Not Angel Reese, but Brittany Griner. She had to go overseas because, like a lot of them have had to over the years, you got to supplement your income because the income that you're making at the WNBA isn't nearly enough. And so when you look at it from that standpoint, to supplement your income by playing 3-on-3 basketball in the United States, in Miami specifically, for a few months where they're talking about doubling.
It's like she's preparing for a war out there, not just a basketball game. This girl is serious about taking her game to the next level. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm picking on Reese, but come on. While she's worrying about her next photo op, Clark is out there making a name for herself in the league. It's like night and day, folks. One's focused on likes, the other's focused on wins. And let me tell you, the fans are noticing. All right, folks, you're not going to believe what Suber just dropped on us. She came in hot, and she's not pulling any punches when it comes to the Clark versus Reese showdown. Let's dive into what this WNBA legend had to say, because it's going to blow your mind. First up, Bird's all about that Clark grind. She's praising Caitlin like crazy, talking about how this rookie is always putting in the extra hours when nobody's watching. You know, the kind of dedication that separates the greats from the rest. But then, oh boy, she turns her attention to Angel Reese, and things get spicy real quick. Bird doesn't sugarcoat it. She's basically saying Reese needs to get her head in the game and her priorities straight. And you know what's wild? She brings up LeBron James as an example. Yeah, that LeBron. Bird's like, you never see LeBron miss a workout. Even with all his fame and off-court stuff, King James is always in the gym. It's a not-so-subtle hint to Reese about what it takes to be a true legend. But here's where it gets juicy. Bird drops this truth bomb. When your brand starts overshadowing your game, that's when the alarm bells should start ringing. Can you believe it? She's straight up calling out Reese for caring more about her Instagram game than her actual game. It's like she's saying, hey Angel, those likes aren't gonna win you championships. And you know what's even crazier? Bird's not just talking about practice. She's pointing out how Clark's always out there doing charity work, connecting with fans, but still keeping basketball as her #1 priority. Meanwhile, Reese is out here caught up in Twitter beefs and complaining about her salary. Bird's not impressed, and she's letting everyone know it. But hold up, because Bird's not done. She's worried about the future of the WNBA, y'all. She's saying success in this league isn't built on how many followers you have, or how fire your latest post is. It's about putting in the work, day in and day out. It's about dedication, not likes. Here's the kicker though. Bird's not just throwing shade. She's actually trying to help these rookies out. Remember when Clark and Reese got snubbed for the Olympics? Bird was there, encouraging them both. She said setbacks like that can light a fire under you, make you work harder. It's like she's saying, use that disappointment as fuel, ladies. Don't let it break you. Let it make you.